Well, hello, my name is Janai Thornton, and welcome to episode number 4 of the NeverBroke podcast, where we will show you how to save money, get out of debt, and have the money you want so you can actually and finally live the life that you want to live. So my co-host and my partner today is my CPA accountant and A&T Aggie sister, Miss Holly Reed.
Welcome, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about summer travel.
Yay, I'm excited about that. It's the summer travel holiday season. There's a lot going on this summer.
It is. So whether you are traveling near or far, we've got some money tips that will actually help you save a little, keep some in your pocket this summer.
Absolutely. So whether you're going on that family reunion, you got your girls trip.
That's right.
Whatever you got going on, we've got some really good resources and tools for you to make it affordable and really fun this summer.
Yes, and even for those who may have not planned ahead, we also have some tips that will help you save some money. So a lot of people often put off travel plans because it is so expensive, and it can be expensive. But the things we're going to share with you today will help you save some money, even if you're doing it a few weeks ahead of time, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So let's get right into it.
Well, let's get into it.
So for those of us who are going to be traveling, either we don't want to be in the car that long, or we know it's just too daggone far to drive. So let's focus on airfare first. What are some things that people can do, consider, think about to save money on airfare?
Yes, absolutely. So there are so many airfare sites or airline sites that offer, different services. The first thing you want to do is think about when you want to fly. So the most popular dates, of course, are always the weekends. People flying out on Friday, flying back in on Sunday, and those are also some of the times where the flights are the highest.
No question about that.
So if you have any control over when you travel, you want to look at weekdays, like Tuesdays, where you'll get your biggest savings. And a lot of people don't know that. But try to leave maybe on a Tuesday and fly during the week. That's going to be especially helpful if you're traveling with kids as well, because the airports may be a little slower, a little less hectic, to take away some of that stress of just traveling through the airport.
Yep. So Tuesday is the biggest savings day.
Yes, Tuesdays. So you also want to look at alternative flight departure dates. So nobody really likes the red-eye flight. So catching maybe a flight at 10 or 11 o'clock at night and landing somewhere 1 or 2 in the morning. But if money is an issue and you're looking to save, you might want to consider those late flights or really early morning flights as well, where they can save some money.
Absolutely. And people don't realize a lot of times there's more availability on those flights, and they are absolutely cheaper, those off times, as we would call them.
Exactly. So if you can sacrifice a little sleep, you might put some additional savings in your pocket.
Yep. If you're really trying to control that budget, you definitely want to look into those offline times for sure.
So I also have some sites that people should visit. If you're looking for research, what do the first thing people typically do?
Of course, you're going to Google.
They go to Google.
Absolutely.
And so for flights, that's no exception. There is Google Flights, and this is basically a research flight. You can't book a flight from here, but it will give you all your options across different airlines. And then based on your research, the lower flights, your required or desired departure and arrival dates, you can then go to the specific airlines to book your flight.
Right. So I don't know if Google is actually getting some sort of kickback or making money from this, but the reason why I think it's kind of cool is because you can see you have more flight options.
Okay.
So that you can play with dates more, a wider range of dates. You can go across all airlines, and then you'll get directed to the airline you need to go to actually purchase your ticket. So Google, of course, is in the information game, and here's another way that they are at the table again.
Absolutely. Another site that I would highly recommend is actually two. One is called Yapta. This isn't one that's very popular, but it's also very similar to one that I have used quite often, which is called Kayak. So the first one is spelled YAPTA.com, and then kayak.com, KAYAK.com. So with these particular sites, you can put in your desired destination, and then set up alerts so that once you book your trip, or if you are planning to book your trip but just aren't yet committed, you can set alerts for the sites to tell you whether or not the price is likely to drop in cost,
Right.
or if the price is going to increase, if now is a good time. So there is somewhat of a little gamble in using the site, but it allows you a little more flexibility and gives you a little more likelihood of whether or not you can save some money, or if you should buy now based on the prices that are available today.
And I think these sites are great to use, especially if you're not going to be traveling for several months.
Yep.
And if you want to just kind of get an idea of how much it's going to cost, and then have the website alert you to say, hey, you're flying from Atlanta to LA. It was originally $300, now it's dropped down to $200. You don't even have to keep checking every day to see what the new rates are.
Yeah, so
you'll get alerted automatically.
That's a great point. So if you've already purchased your flight on YAPTA, you can put in your purchase flight. And so if the price goes down, oftentimes a lot of the airlines will offer you a refund.
Right.
If if you find the same flight, the same, time frame, that type of thing, you can get a refund for money you've already spent.
Yeah, these are great sites for people to use for sure.
Yes. And then the final one that I wanted to recommend is airfarewatchdog.com. So that's airfarewatchdog.com. And on a however daily, weekly basis you set the settings, it will send you airfare deals. So again, if there's a destination that you want to visit, you're just waiting for the right price point, these emails will alert you to those specific deals that are going on.
Yep. And also another reason why I like that site too is if you want to know how much baggage fees are, the different fees, it will let you know all of that in one condensed place.
That stuff adds up. So that's important to know up front, and it's often a lot of the hidden fees that get us once we're there. And so we pay it. But knowing that stuff up front can really help people plan better.
Yep, and you can put all that in your budget.
Let's talk about hotels. So we've talked about ways you can save on airfare. Hotels, lodging is a huge cost for families or individuals traveling if you're not staying with friends or family.
Absolutely. So now we've gotten you there. Now you want to save some money on your hotels, and you have a few different options, things that you can look into. Now, a lot of the sites, the websites that are available will allow you to bundle, meaning you can book your airfare, you can book your hotel, you can book your car all together at a discounted rate.
Yep.
So you definitely want to keep that in mind when you're looking at your airfare to kind of price out your options.
Yep.
So make sure you know what the cost of your hotel would be separate before you go ahead and commit to that. But that's definitely something that you want to look into for sure.
I like that.
Yep. Another thing that you want to consider, which has gotten really, really popular, are the sites like Airbnb. So you hear of Airbnb, and you hear of another one called HomeAway. And so now you have the opportunity to rent either a house, townhouse, condominium, apartment, where you can have all the amenities. You can have access to a washer and dryer. You can have access to a kitchen with all the pots and pans and dishes and everything you need, and talking about a way to save money, particularly if you're traveling as a family.
Yes, and if you're traveling as a family, if you're using Airbnb, if you're using, what was the second site you mentioned?
The second one is called HomeAway, yes.
If you're using those things, why not consider listing your home while you are away on vacation, and maybe the money that you make from a renter renting your home can pay for the vacation that you're on.
Yeah, lots of people are doing that now with Airbnb specifically. So it's definitely something to consider.
Yes.
But Airbnb has over 2 million listings worldwide. They're in 191 countries. So whether you're traveling domestically or internationally, it's a great option. I was telling someone before they even have 1,400 castles listed.
Castles?
Yeah, so
wow.
I know that's where you stay all the time.
Well, I don't know why I'm acting surprised.
But again, all jokes aside, great options, and it's a really great way if you're traveling as a family or with a big group, you're traveling with your crew, it's a really good way to save a lot of money.
Yes, I like that. All right, so airfare, hotels, rental car.
Let's go to rental cars.
Let's go to rental cars. So with rental cars, you've already mentioned the fact that you can bundle. So bundling your rental car with your lodging, with your airfare will save you money. But say you've already booked some travel, with a rental car,
Right.
it's never too late to go back and re-shop for that rental car.
Definitely.
So oftentimes they have cancellation dates up to the day before, 24 hours before. So don't be afraid. I mean, you know, if you've already made a reservation, to go back and look again to see if maybe there are some new deals. So that's going to be key.
Definitely.
Keep a close eye on that.
That's a great idea. And monitor that, you know, right up until it's time for you to go pick that car up for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody loves discounts. There are people who are members of Costco, BJ's, AAA, AARP, whatever it is, whatever club membership you are a part of, oftentimes they will offer rental car savings and discounts and coupon codes. So don't be afraid to use those things. You've paid for it.
Absolutely. So definitely go to those websites, or when you're shopping at Costco's or BJ's, ask them what privileges or discounts they have available for rental cars.
Yeah, now one thing I do want to mention, since we're talking about rental cars, are just the unexpected fees that sometimes get attached to rental cars.
Yes.
So number one is going to be gas.
Right.
I always struggle, not really, but you know, there's always that option between, do I fill up the car before I turn it in,
Right,
or do I do the prepay fuel option that a lot of the car rental places pay or offer?
right,
And what I choose time and time again is I fill up the car.
right,
Because oftentimes when you're returning the car, if you're rushing, probably trying to get to the airport last minute, you're probably going to stop at the gas station that's nearest to the rental car drop off.
right.
9 times out of 10, that's going to be the most expensive gas,
And they know that.
You will pay.
And that's intentional.
Right. Or they're expecting you to be in a rush and then have to pay them to fill it up, and then the prices are going to be even higher.
Right.
So, you know, if you rent a car, go ahead and take the option where you will return it filled, and, you know, 10 to 15 miles before you turn it in, go ahead and fill it up yourself for cheaper.
Yeah, we definitely always normally fill it up ourselves too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never been a victim of this, but I have heard some horror stories. You may want to consider just taking a quick picture of the car before you drive it off the lot to protect yourself from any fraudulent claims, or, you know, if they accuse you of putting a dent or a scratch on the vehicle, just pull out your cell phone, take a quick picture to protect you from some of those things that can pop up later.
Yeah. And people a lot of times will do the walk around.
Yeah.
But you're right. When you pick up your car and also when you drop it off. My husband, David, is adamant about that. Yeah. Always has his pictures. So we know exactly, you know, what we are or will not be responsible for. And we've never had an issue, but clearly we are prepared if we do.
That's right. That's the key, to be prepared.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's talk about some other ways that families can save.
One thing that you really need to think about as you're planning your family trip or your excursion is do some research about the area that you're going. Once you know where you're going to stay, what restaurants are around, because you want to see, do they have any specials? Maybe children eat free on certain days, or maybe a certain percentage off for people over 55 on certain days. But you can have all that intel and information even before you leave.
Yes.
Yeah. Make sure you check with your hotel when you get there too, just to see if they offer any special discounts or coupons. You know, a lot of times they get incentives for directing people to certain restaurants.
Exactly.
So you definitely want to take advantage of that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a perfect segue to our tech app section for today's podcast.
And so what tech app do you have today, Ms. Holly?
I recommend Scout Mob.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about Scout Mob. I have to admit, I've never used it before.
So I use it quite frequently.
Yeah.
But Scout Mob is in most major cities, and it's a restaurant app.
Okay.
So if you're looking for discounted meals or, you know, discounted ways to eat out without eating necessarily at a chain restaurant,
Okay.
Scout Mob is going to offer you local restaurants, where, you know, buy one, get one free,
Okay.
50% off the
That's a great
second
idea.
entree,
Right.
whatever it is. But it's available in most major cities, so it's an awesome app.
Yep. So you definitely want to check out Scott Mob. You want to look at Groupon. You want to look at Living
Yes.
Social.
Yes.
Anywhere once you get into town, once you log in, you'll begin to get all of those deals and discounts directly to your phone. And that way you'll know what your options are for sure.
You know, and because this is what makes technology so great, because I know a lot of us don't often have time to do a lot of research and planning
Right.
ahead of time.
Right.
But it's always worth the extra effort to just maybe even the day before or the day of before you go somewhere, whether it's a restaurant or, you know, entertainment facility,
Sure.
or Six Flags or whatever. Just check before you go, and you can often save money just by checking ahead.
I mean, and if you have children who are on the internet, on the phone, definitely get them involved too.
Yes.
You know, they already know how to use all that stuff anyway, but it'll be a great research project, a little fun family project too, to decide who wants to go where and what discounts are available.
Yes.
Yep. And don't forget to check out social media too. So whether you're going to restaurants or you're going to the museum, you're going to amusement parks, any other place like that, you want to check on Twitter, you want to go to Facebook because you want to see what savings they've offered, and you want to go to their website. 9 times out of 10, you do not want to buy tickets to any of those places on site.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I hope that this has been very helpful for the families and even for single individuals who are planning vacation. We've given you tips on airfare, hotel, rent a car, where to eat. I don't know what else we could tell them today.
I think we've covered it all today with their summer savings travel tips today. And Holly, so if people want to find you and check up on you and what you're up to, where can they find you at?
Yes, they can follow me on Instagram at themasterplaybook.com. That's also my website, and they can also find me on Facebook there.
Okay. And for me, my website is janithornton.com. That's JINITHORNTON. And it's the same for Facebook and Instagram.